in Tekken, you'll run into somebody where it's like, oh, they're essentially executing the flowchart and you break it, or you get close to breaking it, right? You get really close to breaking it. The frustrating ass part of Tekken is that you essentially see through their bullshit and you wonder, will they do anything to respond to it? And most of the time they won't, but sometimes you get close to breaking it and it's like, oh, I see what you're doing, but it took 3 rounds, right? It took the first game to figure it out. And then what happens when you lose that first game? They quit. You got close to figuring out my bullshit. I don't have any answers beyond that. I'm out. And that shit, like, legit, that's like the whole point of a fighting game, bro. It's like a full admittance from the other player. Hey, I got this list of bullshit I do. It works pretty good. I execute said flowchart 2.0. If it doesn't work, I have no interest in changing that flowchart. I have no interest in adapting or doing anything different. It's too risky to fight you again because you might beat me. I'm out. That shit cuts me mad deep. The most fun shit in fighting games is getting close matches with people. It is the most fun shit. I hate stomping noobs, dude. I hate it. I want to get out of the lower ranks when I'm playing Tekken so bad because I find it actually less fun. And stomping noobs doesn't give me any satisfaction. I know that's not the case for a lot of people, but dude, getting high quality good games where it's like, damn, this bitch just 3-0'd me. All right. And then what happens in the next set against like really good players? You'll see this happen to me a lot because I don't have a lot of Tekken experience, but I'll see what they're doing and what happens. You 3-0 them back. And it's like, oh, so what happens now? Usually against these players that are actually have a lot of Tekken 7 experience, I get fucked up. And in the final set, it's like, yeah, they adapt back and fuck me up. And I'm like, cool, that's satisfying. I'm cool with losing in that way. That's completely fine to me. They 3-0 me, I 3-0 them, they 3-0 me back. I'm like, that's fucking Tekken, bro.
What's going on, guys? FGC Chris here, and yes, the video you saw was Maximillian talking about his experience in Tekken 8 and how some players kind of have that flowcharty feel to them, and once you basically figure them out, they kind of just don't want to play anymore. They run with the points. That's not Tekken. That's pretty much every fighting game now. Is that once these guys kind of have their little flow charts, and everybody does it, even I do it sometimes, just flow chart and stuff, but those kind of players that he's talking about are the players that they know a specific flow chart and they know a specific frame trap setups and stuff like that. And basically, once you figure that out, it might take you like that first matchup to kind of figure it out. But once you do it, they don't want to play you anymore. They want to just run with the points. And I can understand what he's saying because those kind of players just get me heated every time I have to deal with those kind of players where you figure out what they're doing, and if you beat them, they don't want to rematch you again. They want to just move on to the next player. Like, they want to abuse the system to try to help them gain free points. And to me, I just look at that like, you're not going to grow as a player trying to play like that, because the point of the match is that you're supposed to be able to try to adapt and try new things depending on what I'm doing. Like he said in the video, like the most fun matches to me are the ones that are really, really close. And it's like, okay, that was come down to the last little pixel, the last little bit. Like, I don't want a matchup where I'm just walking all over a new player, dude. I hate those kind of matches. Those are the kind of matches I want and done, because to me, I can't learn anything from it. Like, if a high-ranking player plays me 2 rounds, he plays me 2 sets and beats me, that's fine. I'm fine losing and you rematch it. I beat you, you beat me, we go to the 3rd game, it comes down, you beat me, and then you leave, cool. I don't have no problem with that. But when you beat me and you barely beat me and then you just walk off, you just say, no, I'm not gonna play you again, and just take the points and run. That's the thing that just has me to the point where I just block you, because I don't want to play against players like you, because those kind of players are the worst kind. They ruin the game for everybody. And I'm just like, if you don't want to play ranked and you scared of losing points, they got something called casual. Go play that. Don't come into a competitive environment like rank and then believe that you shouldn't give everybody a fair set run play. If you want a one and done in casual, that's fine, because it's casual. There's no points on the line. There's nothing on there. It's irritating, but there's nothing on the line. When you do it in rank you are an asshole. I'm sorry, that's the only way I can put it. When you do that kind of stuff in rank, you are an asshole, and you're ruining the game for everybody else. So me personally, I say every time somebody one and done, you just block them, because then they're going to be limited to play with only the people that one and done, so they can just fight amongst themselves. And I know a lot of people don't do it because they want to try to run into those players again, and sometimes you do run into them again, and then you can do it to them, which is kind of fun. But the whole point of a fighting game is that it's me against you, my changes versus your changes. How do you adjust to me playing you? Excuse me. How do you adjust to me playing you? And what adjustments do you make to try to counter what I'm doing? It's supposed to be a chess match. But some people, this new generation of players just want to run you down with offense, and they never want to think about defense. They just want offense, offense, offense. And to me, that is probably the worst thing that's happened to a lot of these games now, that defense has been weakened while offense has been strengthened and made the primary focus. And you see it with Tekken, where Tekken is having a lot of issues because there are not a lot of defensive options in that game, and it prioritizes offensive play more so than defensive play. Now, the patch that they coming out in April looks like they're adding more defensive mechanics. They're kind of reducing some of the offensive power down, which I kind of figured was going to happen. But even with Street Fighter, I think they're kind of trying to back off of the offense as much. But the game still has throw loops. It still has other things in it. But getting back to Max's point, like, it is irritating as hell to play a player like that. And to those players that play like that, you're not learning how to play the game. You got to take some L's before you start winning in the game. There's nothing wrong with that. We all lose. I've lost plenty of matches, but it's the strive to get better as a player and to basically raise your insight and your intelligence and your sight on the game. Like, once you start getting into it and really learning your character, like, you can actually don't have to flow chart. You can kind of just set things up the way you want to set it. But that's my thoughts on it, guys. You let me know what you thought about what Maximillian had to say. I will talk to you guys later. Peace. I'm out.